Hello and nice afternoon from Berlin to Barcelona on today's Voice a Depeche Project Expert Talk. An expert talk with a wonderful lady, how you can see all the viewers there online may all watching it later. No, in that way, watching it later when we spread it out somehow in some soon. Here on the today's Depeche Voice It Expert Talk, our talk with Anu Nadimpalli. Welcome, Anu, how are you?
Hi, Regino. Thank you so much. I am doing great.
That's fine. That's fine. Let me say some words, but before we come to the story of Anu, how it came together, and where you know now, where you are now, and stuff. Anu Nadimpalli initiated and runs a woman-owned atelier and concept store that transforms natural materials and textile surplus into sustainable haute couture clothing, fashion that uniquely adapts to a woman's changing body. Anu's motto is to make art wearable, livable, and collectible. Anu, huge words for something what you are doing really on a long path creating something, right? So please, Anu, uh, start by telling our viewers a little bit about yourself and about your background. Who is Anu Nadimpalli, and how did your life path lead you to the point where you founded your brand, Woman Inspired Apparel?
Thank you so much, Regino and Astrid and Deepesh and Voice Aid for this wonderful opportunity
You're welcome.
to talk to you and your audience and to share my story and to collaborate with you. And this is very exciting to me. Yes, my name is Anu Nadimpalli. I was born in India, got married at 20, and since then I spent most of my adult life in US and now for the past 14 years in Barcelona, Spain. So who's this Anu Nadimpalli?
Who are you?
I've always been a creator, whether it is celebrating Indian festivals with my friends or making scarves for one of my painting from one of my paintings for my clients. I've always liked to think outside the box. So sometimes this can get annoying to some
Of
traditionalists.
course, I know about that.
You know about that, right?
Yeah,
Because we always want to push the limits, right? So this is what I've been doing all my life, and because I seriously believe that where there is a will, there are a million ways, not just one way. And
absolutely.
so thank you. So and I've always considered myself lucky, and this is woman inspired. I'm always been woman inspired, starting from my mom, but mostly like just growing up and most of my adult life. And I never knew that until I started painting in my early 40s, and that started coming out. The colors, and you can see some of it here.
Of course, I do.
My painting started telling me how woman inspired I really have been in my life. I've this is my what you're saying is my second career and second life.
Well,
So
and kind of visualization of that what you got inputted from your whole life.
yes, yes, it seriously is, and I believed like my first. I started off as an interior designer and architect, and I feel like the architecture master's degree was the foundation for this life, which is
Okay.
something to do, which is where I give through art, and I can talk more about it.
Oh, you mean after the second question or something?
Okay, if you wish.
Yeah, well, if we have some time at the end, so we can go a little bit deeper. We have a
Yeah,
little bit of time.
absolutely.
It's kind of format, and so we have
I
to follow
understand. Go ahead,
the
go ahead.
the frame. I do.
We will cover all the topics. Don't worry. I'm sure.
I'm absolutely sure too. So my second question to you, what were the motivations for you to start your initiative? And what is the difference between woman-inspired art apparel and 3 a.m. inspirations? I
Good
think
question.
yeah, it's a good question, and I think the people have to know about it
Yes.
because it makes a lot of sense what you're combining there.
Thank you so much. So let me start with 3 a.m. Inspirations. That is the name of my company. And
Okay.
it started off actually unofficially 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, in my first career, where I was receiving in the wee hours of the night, I would receive these silent messages.
Okay.
And I didn't know what they were in the beginning. I did not understand them. I used to get irritated. What is this? It's waking me up in the middle of the night. But then I slowly started paying attention. And today I say I get 3 a.m. inspirations and I help them. I help people with them.
This is the thing behind and the meaning how it came to that.
Yes, and that is basically
Wow.
it, as simple as that. This was when I was doing my architecture degree, and there's a lot of stress going on, and I used to just, in the middle of the night, I used to wake up with projects, drawings and
I know about
words.
I know
You
about
know
it. I
what you
call
mean,
mine.
right? And the funny thing is that it's not something that I never consider it as something unique that happened to me. It's just that we all have it. It's just we don't pay attention to it. That's the only
Absolutely.
thing I say. And when I started paying attention, I used to have notebooks next to me and started writing down. And that was my awakening. Like that's what woke me up, because in the sense, like, okay, so I would, middle of the night, I'll write down something, go back to sleep, wake up in the morning, I'm seeing what it is. It would be mind blowing. I said, what? This is what came out.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's when I started appreciating my 3 a.m. inspirations. And so during the pandemic, actually, it was a good time to, I think for a lot of us to just, go back, into our own soul and see what is it that our own company, and see what comes out, what is it that, we can do. And that's when I said earlier, my company started in 2015. It was called Creative, means creating art. Simple, right? But 2020, during the pandemic, that is when I rebranded, and I just boldly said, no, this is my company. And I said, my company name is 3am Inspiration. And I took that leap. And since then, it's been, shall we say, seriously inspirational, because I've been getting so much of that. Doors have been opening in such an amazing way, including meeting you guys,
Yeah.
you all.
Yeah.
And
Somehow I call that a universe, in the right time
yes,
all comes
yes,
together and can work together. No?
yes. And so then I started, like I said, my new chapter started, and I said, woman inspired. And I said art, because whatever I was doing, even when I was doing architecture, even when and I have a master's in photography also, by the way. So
Okay,
I
good
have
to
this
know.
tendency, even when I was doing photography, I was doing, there was a lot of art in it, So I said, so what is this going on with this, So I blended all of that together. And so why art? So what I started doing is, like, literally my painting started speaking to me. And I said, I'm gonna be on a mission to bring out various aspects and various forms and various needs and various pains and joys that we women have throughout our lives. It's like, I'll give you an example. Like, I have a painting, I just literally a photograph of, my divine mother, I call her. And just through that photograph, I started painting one day, and the stuff that started coming out, I did a scarf with that for somebody. And then I said, this was my spiritual leader ever since my 11th grade, and so things started coming out in my paintings that I never knew existed, so my paintings were revealing things to me, and that's when I said, okay, I'm just going to follow it. Let's see what happens. I don't know what
Right.
comes out of it, but I'm going to follow it. So that's when and another funny story, why did okay, art. Okay, we can just leave it at art. How did it become apparel? Like this. Again, a funny story. Like somebody. I mean, and I'm like a child. I keep saying I'm a 5-year-old inside here. Because I just bring out whatever, and then I showed it to a friend of mine, and she says, "Can you make a scarf with this?" And that basically opened up another chapter in my life where I started said, okay, of course I can make it, because I can. If I don't know how to do it, I will go research it. I will go find out. So I started doing that, and so apparel started forming, and lo and behold, you know the colors and the words and the textures, you know uh, people started relating to it, and more than them, it started with me, where the joy, I started getting into the joy of the colors and the yeah and so that's how apparel, I started. And I said, the moment you wrap something, when you wrap something, that is empowering or that is colorful or joyful, you really feel empowered.
No,
And that
I
is what
totally
I
accept it.
started discovering.
Yeah.
And I'm also a poet, by the way. I always also write poetry. Thanks to the 3am inspiration, to all those lovely poetry that started coming out. And what I started doing, just recently, with this last event we just had, I launched this thing called mantra raps, mantras, like I call them mantras or my 3am inspirations. And so we just gelled both the art and the rap, and the wordings and all that. And we literally and tried and tested all of these things, and sampled all of these and said, what do you feel? What do you think about this? And the response we started receiving was truly magical and revealing. And so we launched this new mantra raps that
Yeah.
that I call, and that's the power of art. I feel, in the end, whatever you do, I think, art has this healing aspect to it, which
Mhm.
we don't consider it, or only after we do it, then we realize, oh my God, it just brought my soul, it just showed me what my soul is about. And that became my mission, to just do this, to come out of uh, to bring all aspects of our lives into this whole into one, with this woman inspired art apparel, you know so
So there was a kind of point in your life that injected you with so many spots that you now can visualize and make into something what even gives healing aspects, what even gives an empowering in many ways.
yeah, yeah. And seriously, I believe that it's all thanks to my first life. I had a I'm a I used to have many years of chronic pain, and so yeah, and I lost not lost, but I had to walk out of my best career because of that. Because what happens is, when we don't take care of ourselves or our health, or whatever it is that is important to us, then we hit a wall, and that's
This
the
is
that
this is
wall.
this is this is now becoming to something what I like to call we have to speak about it one more in a separate set.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
there's so much to say, so much what people even know, but ignoring, you know.
Yes.
Um, Ignoring is my even a point now that I like to follow when I say, you know, um, I know from you that you're also working in the hard field based ground. How can I call it? Uh, the people call it charity. No, doing good, working good, doing good for others with others. There's something even to speak about. I know,
Yeah.
I know, I know. But let me come to the. We can may yeah do to a net of informations now with the next upcoming question. So my third question to you, Anu, is now: what products and services do you offer, especially, and what distinguish you from? Let me put it in this way: other providers in the same segment. In may
Right.
three words or three sentences. What do you think?
In three sentences, okay, I'll try. So, okay, so basically, my products are different from others because they come from a source that I call an atelier, and what I call and my mom's atelier. Which started 30 years ago, and so that and I'm sorry, but I'm very I'll try to be very brief with this explanation of this atelier because it's very important for sustainability and um, so they started actually 30 years ago when my mom would just, there would be these women, uh, poor women, who have who had no, basically been ignored and shunned. And so she literally picked them up from the streets and she would say, okay, I'll teach you how to do this, how to do sewing, because that's all she knew. And my products are based on that, are
Okay,
results
fine.
of that.
Yeah.
So there are two aspects. One of them is the atelier where we make and it's a free thinking space where we make bags and vests and scrunchies. If I just told you right in the beginning we make bags, scrunchies, that would not tell you the story.
Yeah,
And it's not
absolutely.
so that's why I wanted to take a little bit more time on that, because these bags and vests and scrunchies and scarves and wraps, these are all products of these women who have literally no life, but they have been picked up. And this is what I want to incorporate in my life. It's a concept that my mom started just out
Yeah.
of her own.
And
And
what kind of
this
wonderful one. Yeah.
and what a wonderful one. So I said, no, I'm going to take this concept and put it in my company. So this is part of that. So the products are all one part of the products are that. The others are these natural materials like silk. Well, so we start with the natural materials, but then we also do these where we take your products and make co-create magic with it. So my products are that. So that is very unique in the concept is very unique and it's different from others in the sense that it is not just we creating products and showing them to you. It is how you we can co-create it with you, and where you instead of you know throwing away your your unused and fabric, you can bring it to us, and then we will make that transition, and we will together from those products, from your uh, textile waste and unused to something to your brand. So this is so this is something that it's like a bespoke and a correlate a co-creation which we created, and it's been doing amazing things because now all of a sudden they I mean our clients, they look at it and say, wow, I never imagined that you could create something from my old clothes. You could create something like these patchwork bags, and these are all from our dear atelier students, these students whom we train, and then we just leave it to them and say, okay, I'm making one for you, you create the others. And then they come up with these amazing stuff because they're so hungry to make so much. They've got so much of talent in them. We just give them the podium and they flourish. So this is our products. So our products are, it's and
If
tried
this is
and
not
tested.
explaining something, how it can work out.
Yeah. So this is, yeah, I mean, because if I just told you our products are natural silk
No,
scarves
no, no,
and
no.
upcycled bags, it's not the
It's
story.
all time about the story behind, you know.
It's the heart and soul, you know, that these girls put in these, I'm calling them girls, but they're like in their 20s,
And
30s, 40s.
it's an enjoyable and safe space, quite, that you
It's a,
created for them, you know.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
an atelier, free thinking, I call it an incubation chamber.
And what please?
Incubation chamber. uh, Incubation chamber. Incubation. It's like you're
Oh,
creating
I never heard
something
that. Yeah, okay.
of creativity and inspiration and empowerment and productivity. Because in the end, you just you just keep the space open. They walk in, and sometimes,
They
and a
add.
lot of the
I
time
call.
they come from very troubled homes, so you want to be their safe space.
Yeah.
That's why they flourish, because it's my mom created this safe space for them. And I keep telling her that, you see, look at the reason they come to you, and then they get to sell their products, is because you created this amazing space for them. That's what I keep telling her. And this is the concept. She does it on a very small scale, because she's, they're in their 80s right now, my parents.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So but I want to see if we can make more of these,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, 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 like
incubation.
little community stuff.
Yeah, and that these safe zones, and for education, for training, for in so many ways, these there is so much potential for this, and these products are the result of that.
You know what? And how amazingly we already answered, and much more than only answering my fourth question with that.
Yeah,
Yeah. How I told you, it's the
that's
questions
right.
are only kind of line, and we come anyways to the points.
That's
It's so
right.
slowly with you. Thank you very much. Now,
My
but
pleasure.
the last question I have to you, this is now, of course, yeah, Depeche Expert Talk, yeah, from the Voice 8 Association, initiated right now and today with Nadimpalli. Anu, now as a partner of the Depeche. Yeah, as far so also, yeah, a part of the Voice 8 move, of the Voice 8 himself. Um, and as you are connected with even other various NGOs, what are your primary wishes, hopes, and goals? Up
So
next
I
or
thank you
later?
so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I think I mentioned it, but I'll just make it a little bit clearer. Thank you. Yeah. In the end, we have two goals. Two of them. One of them, which I just mentioned a little bit already, is the repair atelier.
Yeah,
We want to make more of them,
more of them.
and we are obviously, looking for help and collaborations in that. And this is something. This is such an organic atelier space which can sit itself anywhere in the world, and respond to the culture and
Yeah,
whatever
sure.
the requirements. So yeah, so that's one goal, that we want to make more and more and more of these tiny little. We don't want to make factories with 150 people. We want to make ateliers with 5 to 10 maximum,
Mm-hmm.
women who feel safe, and who are able to be more and more creative, because that, like I said, art heals. The more creative they are, they automatically heal themselves. So that is my goal. And then the other one obviously is just to create more of these natural silk art apparel in our concept store, for B2B, and any we want to serve B2B companies, and B2B to C, whatever, so like, yeah, basically it's as simple as that. We want to serve as much, and yeah, I think that explains it for me.
What is your biggest wish if you call your work what you're giving the world already uh, in the connection to all the others? They might not on that point already. What you like to say to them?
So I would like to, you're talking about my message to the world or something like
Yep.
that, right? So I believe that it is all our responsibility. Like, why did I take up fashion, or why did I take up clothing and apparel? Because I believe that we all wear clothes, right? We all wear clothes. So it is our responsibility to stop and see, where and how our apparel is coming from. Where is it coming from? Where is it going? Because right now we are in a crisis situation as far as the fashion industry, or there are, I'm sure, other industries, but just fashion industry, just because of our own, lack of knowledge, but then, lack of time, to do
Right.
anything, lack of anything. So I would say, so in my small way, I want to, help you, uh, take care of your excesses. But more than that, I feel like, we all wear clothes. Let us rethink before we dispose, and before we throw away, our future in droves. So basically, that is what I feel, and is important for every one of us. I keep saying, it's not like, oh, this is not my problem. Oh, no, it
Yeah.
is.
But it's
We
still
all wear
the
clothes. If you wear clothes, it's your problem.
and it goes over the close parts hinaus. That was German. It goes even over that genre, where it should be so easy to bring the people to the point to think right ways, whatever is going between them, but if we don't save the earth somehow,
Yeah,
not only
yeah,
somehow, on the point, and right
yeah.
now,
And there are very simple things we can do seriously if we want to start, if and when we want to start. There are some simple things we can start doing. Um, just like I keep saying, repair. Not
right,
just repair, repair it. Like, instead of just throwing it away, just say, oh, here, can you just mend this for me, or whatever, or and then you've got to, like, we as a company have designed some unique apparel, where you don't have to keep buying, because women like to buy different things. I'm a woman, I know. I get bored of something, I want to. So I've designed a few apparel that way, so that way you don't have to keep shopping all the time. You can convert. Like, this is a conversion from a scarf. A scarf became this wrap. And, like, funnily enough, I'll just do this. If you want to, like, see.
I have to touch it somehow
uh,
up next.
this is pure silk,
You
obviously.
know,
This is
you know,
pure
I
silk.
did also some creations on silk uh, in
Yeah,
in my early past somehow. But I found my way actually by toning, making figures. No idea that I had the ability to be 3D art stuff
yeah, yeah.
because
I,
before I was only not only painting mood
hmm
stuff. Yeah, so I'm on the changing path how it looks. But I'm also up to that one of my figures gets used now for something,
yeah.
because it came also in my mind like you. Yeah.
So
What
I
what
keep
kind what kind
Go
of
ahead.
good bridge to the end, or
I keep saying, like, there is this ad, silly ad in US. It says, sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't, So I keep saying, sometimes I feel like this, and sometimes I feel like this.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
because women want change. Women want to do this, women want to do that. So, like, they feel low, sometimes somber, sometimes. So we can do that. So I make my apparel. response to that. It's that the change. And sometimes like women, do this, sometimes do, like,
Yep.
so that's the thing. That's my apparel response to all that. And I said, if I'm going to if I'm going to ask people to change, I have to start making it easy
You have to
for
show
them,
up.
right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to make it easy for you
Inspiring, inspiring, but experiencing and
right,
let
right.
it
So
be.
that's what. So th- tell me when you're in your
We have to.
then
We
we
have
have to
to.
leave.
We have to.
Okay, I'm gonna do. I want to leave in a very just. I want to
Okay.
leave this message to the world. Like, okay, so are you ready? I'm
I'm
gonna
ready.
say, okay, so I'm gonna say, close your eyes. This is to your audience and to you. Close your eyes for a few seconds. Let us imagine a world where every apparel you wear is silently empowering a woman production worker somewhere. That's it. Just imagine and let's make it happen. Because in the end, we want to make it end to end. We want these women who are making the product for us, who are making all this, we want them also to rise just as they are serving us and making us feel good. Thank you so much. So, and let's all
Um,
be women
yeah.
inspired art apparel.
No words I have to add to that.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much, Anu. Our
My
expert
pleasure.
talk, lovely viewers of the Voice Eat Depeche expert talk in our series. Watchable in some days, May 2 weeks on our YouTube channel and even on our Depeche channel advertised and the Voice Eat channel. Not to forget about that. So thanks one more. I hope you will have a nice rest and relaxing May rest of the afternoon. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
think
will
so.
try to do the same. Hugs to you. Thank you very much for being part of the of our expert talk today.
Thank
We
you.
see each other in Barcelona.
Come visit me. Come visit us.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay.